Hello everyone, welcome to the lecture for the course Refrigeration and Air Conditioning. Myself Sumit Bardia, Assistant Professor, Department of Mechanical Engineering, Sharad Institute of Technology, College of Engineering, Edra. Today we will continue with the psychrometry. In that we will see today psychrometric chart and thermal comfort. In this lecture we will see the following points like psychrometric chart, thermodynamics of human body, factors affecting comfort, comfort and comfort chart, effective temperature, factor governing optimum effective temperature, and effect of heat on work performance. So first point is about the psychrometric chart. A chart which shows the interrelation of all important properties as described earlier is known as psychrometric chart. This chart for a given barometric pressure is very important to illustrate the different psychrometric processes, and it saves lot of labor in making calculations. The constructional procedure is, we'll see one by one. In this figure there are various lines that we are going to see one by one. The dry bulb temperature is taken as abscissa. Here the dry bulb temperature is there. The figure is somewhat not visible is there. And specific humidity as ordinate. To the right hand side, the chart is representation of dry bulb temperature versus specific humidity, and all other properties are shown by different lines. From the psychrometric table, we can find out the specific humidity at a particular dry bulb temperature when the air is fully saturated. Say the specific humidity is at 10 degree, 20 degree, 30 degree are 7.6, 14.7 and 27.2 grams. We can represent all these points on a chart as shown in this figure. If all these points are joined by a line, then this line represents 100% saturation line or 100% relative humidity. So here this line, last line is nothing but 100% relative humidity. The point A, B, C also represent the wet bulb and dew point temperatures, because dry bulb, wet bulb and dew point temperatures are same when air is fully saturated. So at this saturation line, dry bulb, wet bulb and dew point temperature are same. Okay, now we'll see the lines. First of all, the constant specific volume lines. Okay, so these are plotted on the table. The dry bulb temperature of unit mass of dry air for different humidity contents or humidity ratios are indicated by horizontal lines. So here these horizontal lines represent dry bulb temperature lines parallel to the ordinate, so parallel to the y-axis. The mass of water vapor in kg per kg of dry air is drawn parallel to the abscissa, that is x-axis, for different values of dry bulb temperature. So that is specific humidity, mass of water vapor, that is horizontal lines. So here that is parallel to the x-axis. So these horizontal lines are specific humidity lines. Specific means mass of water vapor present in per kg of dry air. So it is specific. So it is a major vertical scale of the chart. Pressure of water vapor in mm of mercury is shown in the scale at left side and is the absolute pressure of steam. Now here dew point temperatures are temperatures corresponding to the boiling point of the water at low pressures of water vapor and are shown in the scale on the upper curved lines. So dew point temperatures are these curved lines. The dew points for different low pressures are read on diagonal coordinates. Now next, constant relative humidity lines in percentage are indicated by marking of vertical distances between the saturation line or the upper curved line and the base of the chart. So these curved lines represents the relative humidity lines. So 100% relative means that is a saturation curve. So from here the 10%, 20, 30, 40, 50, likewise up to 100%, which represents a saturation line. The relative humidity curve depicts quantity of moisture actually present in the air as a percentage of the total amount possible at various dry bulb temperatures and mass of vapor. The next is enthalpy. Enthalpy or total heat at saturation temperature is shown by the diagonal system of coordinates. The scale on the diagonal is separate from the body of the chart and is indicated above the saturation line. So here it is enthalpy scale. Wet bulb temperatures are shown on the diagonal coordinate coincide with the heat coordinates, that is enthalpy coordinates. The scale of wet bulb temperature is shown on saturation curve. So these are wet bulb temperatures. So diagonal run downwards to the right at an angle of 30 degree to the horizontal. Now next is the volume, specific volume of air vapor mixture per kg of dry air is also indicated in this curve. In this chart by a set of diagonal coordinates but an angle of 60 degree. So 60 degree. So this is specific volume line 60 degree with the horizontal. The other properties of air vapor mixtures can be determined by using formulae like enthalpy or any other parameters we can calculate by using equations. In relation to the psychrometric chart, these terms can quickly indicate many things about the condition. For example, if dry bulb and wet bulb temperatures are known, the relative humidity can be read from the chart. If the dry bulb and relative humidity are known, the wet bulb temperature can be determined. If wet bulb temperature and relative humidity are known, dry bulb temperature can be found. If wet bulb and dry bulb temperatures are known, even dew point can be found. If wet bulb and relative humidity are known, then also we can find out dew point. If dry bulb and relative humidity are known, even we can find out the dew point temperature. Now the quantity of moisture in air can be determined by various combinations. If you have the combinations, you will find out the quantity of moisture in air. So combinations are dry bulb temperature and relative humidity, dry bulb temperature and dew point, wet bulb temperature and relative humidity, wet bulb temperature and dew point temperature, dry bulb temperature and wet bulb temperature, and last one, even you have only dew point temperature, you can easily find out the moisture of the quantity of moisture in air. The next slide is about the thermodynamics of human body. Now this is again connected to the thermal comfort conditions. So human body feels comfortable when the heat produced by the metabolism of human body is equal to the sum of heat dissipated to the surrounding and the heat stored in human body by raising the temperature of body tissues. Now this phenomena can be represented by the equation that is here, Qm equal to plus or minus Qs plus Qe plus or minus Qr plus or minus Qc. Now what is Qm here? Metabolic heat produced within the body. Qs is stored energy in temperature rise of the body tissue. Positive when tissue temperature rises, negative when it falls. Qe is evaporative heat loss due to the water evaporating at skin surface and the lungs, which is expressed in kilojoule per hour. Qr is heat loss and gain by radiations. Positive when heat is lost to the surrounding and negative when it is gained from the surrounding. And last point is that is Qc, heat loss or gain by conduction and convection. Positive when heat is lost and negative when heat is gained from the surrounding. That is also we are calculating in terms of kilojoule per hour. The rate at which the body produces heat is termed as metabolic rate. The value of which depends upon a number of factors such as individual health, physical activity and environments. The metabolic heat produced depends on the rate of food energy consumption in body. A fasting man, the weak or sick, will have less metabolic heat production. If Qe, Qr and Qc are high and positive, Qs become negative. When Qm is low and hence sick, old, weak or fasting man feels more cold when exposed to low temperature, high draft air. A man gets fever when internal body activities increase Qm to such extent that Qs becomes positive for given Qe, Qr and Qc. The stored energy Qs has the maximum and minimum limits which when exceeded brings death. Body temperature when exceeds 40.5 degrees Celsius and falls below 36.7 degrees Celsius is dangerous. The usual body temperature when Qs equal to 0 is 37 degrees Celsius for a normal man. There is some kind of thermostatic control in human body which tries to maintain temperature of human body at a normal level of 37 degrees Celsius. Whenever the environment temperature changes, the human body reacts by trying many psychological adjustments to keep the deep temperature of the body constant. There are two types of adjustment generally adopted by the human control system. First one is vasomotor control and second one is pseudomotor control. Vasomotor control, this control regulates the blood supply of the skin. This control regulates the blood supply to the skin. It acts by causing vasodilation of the peripheral blood vessels if environment temperature is increased. The increased circulation of the blood increases the convective transfer of heat from the interior of the body to the surface. In other words, the thermal conductance of the skin is increased, thus minimizing body heating. The vasomotor mechanism alone is sufficient to maintain the heat balance at a low level of heat load and is therefore known as first line of defense. If environment temperature is decreased, the control causes vasocontraction of the peripheral blood vessels. This decreases blood circulation and reduces body cooling. So that is vasomotor control. Now how the pseudomotor control works? Now this control regulates sweat production. Whenever the heat lost by convection and radiation becomes negative due to high temperature of atmosphere compared to body temperature, the only mode of heat transfer to dissipate the heat is by evaporation. The pseudomotor control acts by initiating sweat gland activity. The sweating capacity differs according to person's degree of acclimation to heat and work. Now these all things or control measures are depends upon the activity. Now what the factors are affecting comfort? Air conditioning of buildings mainly concerns the comfort of people and not the maintenance of exact conditions as required for products. The conditions conducive to comfort depend upon the following factors, that is temperature, where is cursor? Temperature, humidity, air motion and air purity. So these 4 parameters which greatly affect the comfort condition. How? We can see one by one. Temperature. So proper control of temperature of the air medium surrounding the body removes the psychological stress of accommodation, thereby making for great comfort and improved physical well-being and health. Second, humidity. It is through evaporation from skin that a large portion of body heat is lost. Since evaporation is promoted by a low humidity of the air, that is relative humidity, and is related by a high humidity control, has an important effect on the comfort. Extremes of humidity not only results undesirable psychological relations but also affect the properties of many substances in the treated space, clothing and furniture in particular. Third is air motion. So air motion or air movement over the body increases the rate of heat and moisture dissipation above the still air rate. Generally still air rate is 3 meter per second, thereby modifying the feeling of warmth or coldness. Depending on the amounts of motion, there are pleasing and displeasing effects. And the last parameter is air purity. People feel uncomfortable when breathing contaminated air, even if it is within acceptable temperature and humidity ranges. Therefore, proper filtration, cleaning and purification of air is necessary to keep it away from dust, dirt and other property. Okay, so these are the factors which greatly affects on the comfort, human comfort. Next is about the comfort. Okay, we'll stop here. We will continue the effective temperatures and some other points are there. We will continue with in the next lecture. Thank you.